Oh, hello again. Yeah, I'm Dr. August Dunning, and this is a channel about dry fasting. And recently on my YouTube channel, I was seeing a lot of talk about prescription drugs during a dry fast. There are some you absolutely should take. One of the things you should absolutely take is your thyroid medication, because thyroids are not going to get better unless you start donating blood. The theory is much the same as varicose veins. When iron loading occurs because of a lack of copper in the diet, iron builds up in cells and starts eroding them from the inside out. Iron in this form, trapped in the cells, not in the blood recycling system to make your RBCs, your red blood cells, but in the cell itself, starts eating up the membranes inside the cell, causing proton leakage in the mitochondria and all kinds of stuff, reducing ATP and doing all this damage. And you can see it by the perfusion of leukocytes on the thyroid, because it's trying to fight an enemy they have no energetic peptides to bond with, because they can't take care of a metal oxidant. The only way to do this is to donate blood. And if you donate blood 4 times a year, you get rid of accumulatively 635 micrograms of iron every year, and that backs you up a year and a half in age, actually. But it also starts reducing the erosional rate. You accumulate 365 micrograms per year, so you're giving up 1,000 micrograms in blood donation, and subtract the 365, you get 635. And that has a huge impact on thyroiditis and your general health. As we age, it's because we are accumulating iron that is, first of all, not regulated by copper, which makes it, a faster exit. But even with the copper, to balance it and stuff, you still got to get rid of it, because it just keeps accumulating, and you have no idea how much you've taken in every year in supplements and food, because they put iron filings, they put iron dust and powder in the breakfast cereals and in the bread flours and all that stuff. So talk about adding insult to injury. But there's the deal. And as far as thyroiditis, yes, blood donate. You can identify the triggers that kind of kick the thing off, but the triggers are due to the fact that the enterocytes inside the intestinal wall are super sensitive now to anything, because they're loading up with iron, because you haven't had enough copper. Because without enough copper, your liver tells the enterocytes in the intestinal wall to not send copper into the bloodstream, because the liver has too much copper, and copper is toxic to the liver. So instead, it loads up in the intestinal cells. You end up with, gastric cancers and bowel cancers and that stuff. Donate blood, please do, and you'll see your thyroid numbers go way back down again as your thyroid returns to normal operation. Okay, that's kind of the message there. Statins, get off them immediately. You need cholesterol. You need to go out in the sun, and cholesterol activates with UVB and sunlight to create vitamin D3, which is the precursor to vitamin D. You need that. You need sunlight to put the cholesterols with the sulfates to line the vascular walls so your blood flows easier. It is, so important we get sunlight, and so important we stop listening to a lot of the advice of these so-called experts. Get rid of the statins. You need cholesterol. It's absolutely important. That's why I eat 3 eggs a day. I'd eat more, but I like other stuff too. So that's kind of the message. If you want to worry about your prescription drugs, I'd just drop the statins. You're going to get rid of all the problems during a dry fast. With the thyroid, though, you need to take the thyroid medication. And until it's proven, and it's in the middle of being tested right now, that this blood donation key is the restoration of the thyroid and other organs as well, keep taking that. But it's pretty much understood now the statins are absolutely toxic to us. Anyway, I love you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Hit the like button, and see you later.
Yes?
We have a message. Can you remind people to subscribe, please, sir?
What now?
Please.
Oh, very well.